What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Friday Night Smackdown review. This is the go-home show before Elimination Chamber. Tomorrow, I guess, somewhat in the afternoon, or I think 11 or 10 a.m. for me. Tomorrow, and whatnot. I honestly forgot this show was going to be tomorrow, and whatnot. I really did kind of forget about Elimination Chamber, and maybe because it's my lack of care and just this show in general. I know it's canon. I feel like it's added a lot of magic to it just because, but you know, I don't know. Some would sit here and say this is Blood Money 12, Blood Money, whatever Blood Money show it is. I know a lot of people aren't really going to watch this show tomorrow, but it is canon. Obviously, SmackDown is taped tonight. It was taped from last week after it went off the air live. And like I said, show is taped. Obviously, everyone has had to travel to Saudi Arabia at this point, whoever's going. And come on, they're not going to make it there, especially with the time different zones and stuff. So we already know how that's going to work, but we did kick it off with a contract signing. The contract signing between Ronda Rousey, Naomi, going against Charlotte, and Sonya Deville tomorrow and whatnot. As Deville's arm was still hurt in a cast and everything, and stuff. Basically, it's going to be in 24 hours. When if Deville's arm is going to be better and whatnot. But this is how the contract signing works. Everybody's going to sign. Rousey, that's how you spell your name. I'm about to say BITC, but it basically was cut off then. Naomi talking about slapping the crap out of her last week. Deville them signed the contract. Flair signed the contract. They mostly all signed the contract. And, Deville told Rousey, this is your last time to get out of this match and everything. But Naomi said, stop stalling, okay? Charlotte then brought up the stipulation, talk about you could beat anybody with one arm tied behind their back. So with Deville's arm hurt, I guess Rousey is now going to wrestle with one arm behind her back and everything. So she ended up signing and agreeing to it because they said tomorrow. And I got two hands tonight, so I can just take out y'all right now. Obviously, I've already seen a clip of the whole, Rousey slamming Charlotte's head on the table, which did not look good, by the way. It looked very bad. And it looked really bad and stuff, and they ended up flipping the table over and knocking them over. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I do agree with my co-host Kyle that it does help Naomi, at least kind of boost her into a bigger, some star power. The crowd already loves Naomi. I just wish they give it a push that, everybody would like to see. But this tag match should be good, but then again, it's Rousey with one arm tied behind her back. So we'll see what happens tomorrow at Elimination Chamber. Sheamus went against Ricochet. I feel like I'm seeing this more and more often. Sheamus talked about Holland, you lost to him, but Sheamus, I'm going to get in, teach Ricochet a lesson. Not a bad match. Ricochet ended up getting the win, though, of course, with the recoil. Holland tried to, help Sheamus up, but Sheamus ended up pushing him down to the ground. I guess probably blaming him for the match. So could Holland be having a face turn right here? Possibly. I'm not sure, but it looked like he may turn on Sheamus sooner or later and turn face then. I know they interviewed Sami Zayn about the Intercontinental title tonight. And listen, I know this show is taped and everything, so they had to stick a few things in here and there. You can tell the commentary is probably overdubbed because obviously today, and this is obviously big news, the Undertaker will be going into this year's Hall of Fame. They had a big video package, mostly what they had back at, Survivor Series when he, quote unquote, retired and stuff. Even playing, Kid Rock's, one of his older theme songs, American Badass and everything when he went to the whole biker thing. Listen, there's nothing you can, there is no introduction when you really need to talk about Undertaker. Obviously, it's well-deserved. I think we all knew he was going to be going in there regardless. It's Texas. He's probably the biggest name you have in going in the Hall of Fame this year in general. I don't know who else is bigger or anybody from Texas because they kind of inducted a lot of people already big names in Texas into the Hall of Fame already, from Stone Cold Steve Austin or Shawn Michaels, or I'm just naming some on the top of my head, Booker T, the Funks, Terry and Dory Funk, the Von Erichs. It's many big names in Texas that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And listen, I probably have to do a history lesson and go back if I have missed any names. I'm sure there's some bigger ones, but I don't know if they're bigger than, the Undertaker, okay? And so, and yeah, I do agree with people. Undertaker does deserve probably his own wing in general, just in the Hall of Fame, okay? Especially for a career that has lasted over 30 years. And people say, some would say he has the greatest gimmick in wrestling and has kept it fresh, that people always are going to pop for it and never get tired of The Undertaker and stuff. Okay, so this is a come on, like we all know this is going to happen. It's well deserved. It was going to happen sooner or later and stuff. Some people would say, "Do you think Undertaker would probably come back for one more match?" It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. I said this a couple of years ago when he quote unquote retired. I thought retired thing was a work, to be honest, and I still think that in some form or fashion. Like, it wouldn't have surprised me if one day Undertaker would just come back out of retirement and wrestle again. Okay, and I'm sure everybody's gonna be glued to the screen when the Hall of Fame comes on to watch his induction speech. Um, when that happens. Okay, it's the Undertaker. Listen, I wasn't there from the beginning of Undertaker's career. I didn't really start watching. This is when I started watching wrestling, but I didn't really know Undertaker was till kind of like mostly in the Attitude Era, and not from the beginning of the Dead Man and Paul Bearer and stuff. I was probably there maybe in like the late Ministry of Darkness, kind of before it ended. Like, but I gotta start off with the Biker Taker. Okay, American Badass, Big Evil. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. You done it now theme song, all that stuff. But come on, like there's so many accomplishments you can name about the Undertaker. Multiple time world champion, Royal Rumble winner. Of course, the streak that went 21-0. Even though I feel like it shouldn't have ended after watching, what he said about it. They really shouldn't have ended that streak, or unless it was going to go to somebody that kind of really needed it. Just like, come on, multiple titles, the opponents he's had, the matches he's had. But like I said, it's so many things you can name. It's insane. From matches against who? Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Batista, JBL. I'm just naming some of his opponents right here. Mick Foley, of course, throwing him off the Hell in a Cell. Kane, the Brothers of Destruction as a team. Going against Triple H, Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm just naming as many of his opponents as I can, but people being in the Ministry of Darkness or his BSK crew from back then, or just like I said, the list goes on. Okay, the list just goes on Undertaker's career. Cena, him going against him, Edge. It's a lot of names, man. Okay, it's a lot. I'm just going by the top of my head, like just some of his greatest opponents and stuff throughout the years. All right, what fucking Brett, what Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, dude. Like I said, the list goes on. He's beaten Randy Orton. He's beaten all of Evolution. He's beaten all of DX. He's beaten any type of crew he's beaten. Okay, like just hella matches, feuds. Where do I begin? Being one of the biggest names on SmackDown, I would say carried SmackDown for multiple accounting years. Like, if there's one thing you know about SmackDown, there's a lot of names that were big to watch on SmackDown, but like he was one of those names to always watch on SmackDown when it comes on. It's the Undertaker. Okay, so it's damn near like limitless of all the accomplishments you could name about him. All right. And listen, I'm sure people are gonna go, yeah, I'm not gonna go into whole politics and thing. I'm just talking about wrestling because it's about wrestling right now. All right. And I'm sure we've seen how fans have been divided ever since the whole soft comments, that whole podcast. Even though I do agree with Taker on what he said, I understood what he was saying, especially when you look in context of it. I'm not gonna, go like how a lot of other people have had kind of gone at him. And trust me, I got friends we've all debated, on the whole Undertaker comments on Rogan's podcast once he was kind of done and stuff, and everything. So I'm not gonna say like just some crazy old man or anything like that. But like I said, Undertaker, the list just goes on. It's well deserved. Y'all know it was gonna come at some point in time. It's like damn near like some like ultimate respect type of shit. All right, and it's probably things I'm missing to what I have not named about the Undertaker. All right, I'm just going off the top of my head. All right, like I said, Hell in a Cell matches, fucking what, Buried Alive matches, even a TLC match. Like I say, it's so many things. What, fucking motorcycle, like it's a long list of accomplishments, and we all knew this was gonna happen. All right, so Yeah, Undertaker, Hall of Fame. Obviously, he's going to be the headliner. All right. And then again, I've even said this before. They need to sell out WrestleMania. It's 100,000 seats. It's 2 nights. You damn near need this guy on the fucking card if you want him for one more match, if that's the case. But you know this is going to draw people to come to WrestleMania. All right? It's The Undertaker. All right? Because nowadays, Taker is more open nowadays. It just does a lot of interviews and stuff. So, you know, wouldn't surprise me if they get him back on WrestleMania one way or another. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a match, but then again, it could be a match for all I know. I don't know. I'm just naming shit off the top of my head, all right? But I just want to say a few things on that. So if I'm missing something, please do. I know I'm missing something, so just correct me if you want to, okay? Because it's a lot to say when it comes to The Undertaker, all right? So I've said what I've had to say on my piece on there, and I'm probably sure I'll say more on it later, but cool fucking video package. All right, WWE always puts on some great video packages. Even the one they just had with Roman and Goldberg, for their match was a great video package and stuff. Jey Uso went against Ivar. Ivar got the win. I know 50-50 booking because one of the others beat what was it, Jimmy beat Eric and whatnot. Just sets up for the tag team match tomorrow night. Tomorrow in the afternoon for the tag team titles. Drew McIntyre came out to cut a promo. Talking about New Orleans and whatnot, and how he's going to beat Madcap Moss tomorrow. Honestly, I don't really care about Drew versus Corbin and Moss or this match in general. Drew's gonna win. That's just gonna be the end of it and stuff. I don't care about Madcap Moss's jokes or you know whatever that gear he's wearing. We all know Drew's gonna win. That's gonna be the case. Hopefully they get Drew out, Drew out of this feud and move on to something else, especially leading into WrestleMania. Okay, because I'm just tired of it at this point. Shinsuke Nakamura went against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. A very good match. I felt like it was an anticlimactic finish, but Sami Zayn focused on Nakamura's leg throughout the entire match and ended up kicking him in his bad knee just to get the win. So I'm actually surprised Sami Zayn won right here, but obviously they did the title match here because we know Sami doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia and whatnot. Nakamura's title reign, honestly, has mostly been tag team matches with Boogs most of the time than him defending the Intercontinental Championship itself. So, I figured it was time to lose the belt anyways. I've already heard about the rumors of Sami Zayn supposed to be going against Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. I don't really need to see that again. Well, we already saw it at the Rumble, but does it need to be for the Intercontinental title, though? That's the real question. Does it really need to be for the belt? So, yeah, Nakamura, I feel like his reign was just kind of whatever as champ. It's like he had the belt, but most of the time was just dancing around with Boogs and doing tag team matches. Like, he really barely defended that belt, to be honest. Only done a handful a couple times, so it's not much to say about that. Aaliyah was talking to Ricochet, congratulating him on this match. Sami Zayn wondered where his celebration was and stuff. I won the title, I deserve a celebration. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman came out 536 days as champion. Roman Reigns is. He told the crowd to acknowledge him. Tell them, celebrate me, wise man. Talking about what Roman has done. You never get to see guys like Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky in their prime or Drew Brees. But even talk about Drew Brees, I must have missed that because he was playing for the Saints. Fans chanted, "Who dat then?" And then Heyman's like, thou now shall interrupt wise man's promo and stuff. Heyman basically went on, talk about the Elimination Chamber. Goldberg's music hit. He did his entrance. Goldberg got the microphone. Reigns says, "I'm going to give you one last time to acknowledge me." Goldberg basically looked at him and said, this ring is, this is my ring and stuff. And Reigns says, "You here to fight, you here to talk." But Goldberg says, "Tomorrow noon." Goldberg will, apologize to the people and stuff because, Reigns isn't next. When it comes to the Universal title, he says, "I'm next." And they had their stare down, and that basically ended the segment. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I honestly think this will probably be some 5-6 minute match between Goldberg and Roman. I'd be surprised if it goes that long. We all know Roman's going to win. I'm already going to name it right here. Spear, 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 jackhammer, spear, jackhammer, possibly. Roman puts a guillotine in, and that's probably going to be it, and we move on from there. So, I don't know. I heard Goldberg's deal is almost up anyways with all these matches. Some are saying, is he going to go to AEW? I don't even know. But Tony Khan likes Goldberg a lot, apparently. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. But other than that, this is my review of SmackDown. We will be back tomorrow sometime in the daytime or whenever I watch this show. Elimination Chamber. Man, they got a lot of matches though. It will be reviewed at some point. Like I said, I think it comes on like what 11, 10 a.m. tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that then. But other than that, I am done with this review for SmackDown. I will see you all tomorrow. Like I said, sometime in the day. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodieKnight890. I'm out. Peace.